We've visited Pluto and the outer reaches of the solar system, and our rovers are trundling over the surface of Mars. Yet the Sun has remained stubbornly out of reach, until now. This summer, NASA will launch one of its most ambitious space missions to date, the Parker Solar Probe. Traveling at a blistering 720,000 km per hour, 450,000 miles per hour, the spacecraft will repeatedly dive closer to the Sun than any previous spacecraft in history. It will venture so close that the Parker Solar Probe team refers to it as touching the Sun. In fact, it will dive in and out of the Sun's atmosphere, known as its corona. And it's not going to be alone up there. In February 2019, the European Space Agency ESA will launch a solar mission of its own, called Solar Orbiter. This craft will not go as close to the Sun as its NASA counterpart, but it will still be bathed in intense sunlight, almost 500 times that experienced by a spacecraft in Earth's orbit. Unlike Parker Solar Probe, which spends only a short amount of time in the fierce heat as it dives in and out, Solar Orbiter will stay put for years, watching and measuring the Sun. Both of these missions have a single goal: to find out more about the way electrified gas known as plasma is launched from the Sun's atmosphere out into space. This continuous is known as the solar wind. It carries energy and the Sun's magnetic field through space, and understanding it could solve a problem that's been mystifying scientists for decades and could be the key to safeguarding our technological society. What a wind! When the solar wind collides with Earth, it can disrupt or even destroy electrical technology in orbit and on the ground. One recent study by the U.S. National Academy of Sciences found that without advance warning, a huge solar flare, carried by the solar wind, could cause $2 TR worth of damage in the U.S. alone, and it would not be quick to fix. The report found that such an enormous solar flare could cause so much damage to power stations that the U.S. eastern seaboard could be left without power for a year. Europe is similarly vulnerable. Yet while something of this magnitude would only happen once every couple of hundred years, smaller storms happen more frequently. Most of these cause little disruption, but all have an effect. In March 1989, for example, a small solar storm severely damaged a power transformer on the Hydro-Quebec power system. It took down their power grid for more than 9 hours as emergency repairs were carried out. And more recently, in 2003, a series of solar storms that took place around the Halloween period caused more than half of NASA's satellites to malfunction in some way, while aeroplanes had to be rerouted away from polar latitudes because of the large amounts of radiation associated with the intense aurora. So while studying the Sun has never been more timely, the desire to do so stretches back before the space age to the 19th century, when a solar mystery was uncovered. On the 7th of August 1869, astronomers gathered across Russia and follow Science Focus on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and Google.